I didn't know why I came so far. Was I blind till I know these moments? And my way walked away, that I just got so sick of it. Then the way that I was from, they give it what can see you no more. And you let it go.
Like the Sim Dragon Bird double African Dragon Blue shot pala and a two-man
Will he get the EXO here? No! One Dragon does go into Mansky's side. There's the equalizer in the back line. Cataclysm actually, you know, a 5-man!
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is, yet again, the Pro Gaming Series 2016 Spring Split, brought to you by, of course, the official energy shot of the Pro Gaming Series. That is Booster C Energy Shot, Booster Focus, Booster Game now with Booster C Protect. That's the color green one.
Yes.
Don't have the tester anymore to show you guys. Kasi, actually,
It's alright. I think we've shown them enough times already.
yeah, exactly. Last week ata. So,
Yeah.
alright, welcome again. I'm, of course, GS Asteroid tonight. And alongside here with me is
GS Amplifier.
Yes, so now we're in the second match. It's going to be Imperium Pro Team versus Empire, Acclaim Empire X.
Yeah, this is a really, really important match right now kasi dito natin malalaman kung makakaabot nga ba yung IPTB sa playoffs. Because right now, if we take a look at the score, things are very, very shaky for them because they're currently at 9 points. So if they want to make it to the finals, kailangan 2-0 to. They have to be able to get 3 more points so they can make it at 12. Otherwise, if they only hit 10, then things would be really, really shaky there. If Empire X is able to win 2-0 though, they may slightly have a chance, but it's also still very scary. So,
Yeah, so
if anything, kung gusto nilang pumasok na playoffs, it must be a 2-0.
That's true. And again, other teams, you know, have to actually get that 0-2 in the following week. I think last week na ata next week, no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, because the last match is going to be between Naga versus Mineski, which is another explosive and exciting match that we're all waiting for.
That's true. That's true. So if we do get tie here, or ties for that 4th place for the playoffs, or how many teams were that? 4 teams, right?
Yeah, 4 teams.
Empire X can have that chance to get into the playoffs. They're looking for it. I was watching or reading their interview with Canon in Mineskinet, and they were talking like make communication issues sila because there's like 3 people playing in one computer shop, and then their form of chat, their communication was like typing na lang.
I
see. Empire X, they have to overcome this if this is what they're doing right now to like talk with each other, or as well as, you know, being much more consistent as they progress into the late game. Kasi nakikita natin, malakas sa early game nila, but then there's that, again, that PH curse wherein some pro teams do have that difficulty getting into that late game.
Yeah, and shot calling requires a lot of experience for those who, obviously kasi kapag sa solo queue kasi syempre hindi naman lahat ng GG-talk na pre-made 5, di ba? Of course,
Yeah,
marami
exactly.
sa atin, type lang. Pero when you reach a level of play like this, like the Pro Gaming Series or like LCS, LCK, whatever, you need as many edges as you can get in the tournament, and communication is definitely one of the most important tools in the game. And for Empire X to have a bit of a downside on that, sobrang hirap nun kasi that's like I said, shot calling requires so much experience, and if you're not with all of your teammates pa, diba, sobrang malas naman nun. So I really hope that they'll be able to bounce back even with that kind of hardship.
That's true. So now let's go into the ban and pick phase. Malphite, Zac, Morgana, Lissandra, Nidalee, and Poppy.
Yeah, so really interesting bans. Like we said, Zac is still it's actually very PH, and at the same time, it's also very much Tam. Tam has already played Zac several times, and we have seen him play it to some success, no, in our region. Meanwhile, Malphite and Morgana being taken away. Morgana, sa mga nanood kay Canon since yung last split, alam naman natin kung gaano ka-experience na si Canon with Morgana. So it's an obvious respect ban.
Aside from
Canon.
that, Shadow can do a pretty mean Morgana though.
That's true, but they are taking that away from Canon this time because
that's true.
Shadow can play other supports, so they're gonna take that away. And then for Lissandra, Nidalee, Poppy, these are all interesting bans as well. Pero si Yux kasi, comfortable Poppy player. Lissandra is also good for Chalk or Yux, so it's also a really good ban. And then Nidalee, targeted against Repenga. Nidalee, nag-rise yung popularity niya, but not on solo queue that much. More on pro play kasi it's actually a very complicated champion to use with a lot of weaknesses.
That's
So
true.
it's pretty hard to use. And for the picks, IPT grabs Lulu. and Empire X smartly takes away the Kog'Maw from that comp. Kasi sa mga hindi nakakaalam, the popularity of Lulu and Kog'Maw on Pro Play has really skyrocketed. Alam naman natin kung sa mga nakapanood ng Naga versus Celestial, we saw how strong Luxuria became. Lalo na sa late game, Kog'Maw, such an insane hyper carry.
Actually,
so taking away the Lulu, or rather taking away the Kog'Maw with the Lulu is a huge steal.
Not looking back into that, kanina lang.
And also that,
Yeah, that was just too crazy coming out of Marky.
Yeah, so really insane damage, and dahil nga sa change sa kanya kasi what happened, for those who don't play Kog'Maw that much or don't read the patch notes, they put the passive attack speed gain onto W.
Yeah, his
so that, by Arcane Barrage.
Thank you.
Yes, so yung W basically, hindi mo na kailangan mag-isip iba yung max ko, Cuba or W. It's so obviously W now kasi you get the long range, you get the attack speed, and that's all that Kog'Maw needs in life. So obviously he's gonna max W, and his damage, his early game basically, medyo mas gumanda siya because you only have to max W and then E for even better kiting.
So Empire X here, they don't get the Lulu because it was stolen by Yux, so they get something quite similar, which is calculated on a Karma.
Yeah, so Karma not seeing that much play, although obviously viable naman siya. Tignan na natin kasi in a way, Karma does provide some of the things that Lulu provides as well. You have the shield and the speed boost, you have a poke, and the only difference actually between them is that you don't have wild growth.
That's true.
In exchange for a root on your E. So, obviously, yung Lulu, medyo mas maganda pa rin talaga siya for Kog'Maw. I mean, that's where Juggernaut came from in the first place kasi wild growth is an insanely great part of Juggernaut being able to work out. Plus the speed boost and the poke and everything. Pero I think Empire X really needed to get a substitute for her. And that's pretty smart, actually, for them to get the Karma instead.
So here comes the hover over the Ezreal. So we're gonna see a double AD comp here. Actually, it's double AD comp for both teams because they have the Gangplank and the Lucian. And then if they do go for this, it's the Kog'Maw and the Ezreal for Empire X.
Yeah, that's true. We're seeing Rek'Sai on Tam since kinuha nga yung Zac. And though that will be a lot of mobility in the jungle. For Tam, we're gonna see Yux most probably on... Actually, Gangplank and Lulu can pretty much switch around in top or mid lane. So we'll see kung ano yung mas favorable matchup or which one of them want to take which. Though, from what I know, Chuck has already played Gangplank before.
Yeah.
And he was
He's
really
crazy.
painful in the late game.
Yeah, but I guess the problem right now for before, when Chalk does go for that Gangplank, sometimes his team doesn't allow him, some synergy because like he can set up the barrels and he can harass with those barrels. But then when it comes to the fights wherein those barrels are really important, Imperial Pro Team sometimes doesn't go for champions that can actually allow him to set up the barrels and then pin them down to where these damage areas are. But right now, they have Shadow, they have Yux and Rebenga for slow and lockdown. So Chuck here would have easier time setting up one of the most, or if not the most important aspect of that Gangplank, which is the powder kegs.
Yeah, I mean, Gangplank talaga sobrang hirap niya laruin. It's not something that you just lock in solo queue. Oh, guys, first time Gangplank ako, and then expect to get really good results. It's a really complicated champion. Plus, like you said, kailangan talaga ng coordination with your teammates because your team composition has to be able to support Gangplank in a way na yun nga, magagamit niya yung whole barrel mechanics where he can land as much damage as he can.
You can't rely on his Q anymore. He's not the old Gangplank. He has been renewed. He has been parang dumped into water, and when he comes out, he came out like a new man.
The seas have changed for Gangplank these days. And it's not as easy as it was. Pero late game talaga, sobrang lakas talaga ni Chuck. He's able to play. And like we said, there's a bit, the peel here is nicer for Gangplank kasi he does have Lulu and Braum to help him out.
That's true.
I guess the only thing that's lacking from him is a hard form of CC to lock down Kog'Maw. And actually, that's very essential against a team that has Kog'Maw kasi obviously Kog'Maw is very, very painful, but if you're able to lock him down and assassinate him, then it shouldn't be too hard. Yung problema nga lang, sino mag-assassinate sa kanya? Because on the composition of IPT, the only hard CC that you have is a stun from Chuck, from Rebenga, which is not that reliable in team fight. So kapag nag-team fight yung dalawang to, you're actually heavily relying on either Chuck or Raze to be able to reach Gen V when he's backed up by a Rek'Sai, by an Nor, by an Alistar, and by a Karma, and that's a huge feat. So towards late game, team fights will be really difficult, I think,
Yeah.
for Empire X. I mean, for IPT.
Yeah, it's either Imperium Pro Team Blue finds a way that Gen V doesn't go into the fights, and then IPTB can just shred to the HP of Empire X, but they can do this. It's possible because
Yeah.
sinasabi natin there is that late game potential coming out of Shock, and Raze can scale okay naman into the late game.
Yeah, that's true. I guess the way that IPT will probably want to play, it's not that we're saying they should avoid team fights. Yung sinasabi lang namin, sobrang hirap niya.
Yeah,
Kasi there's
true.
so much peel for Kog'Maw. He has speed boost. There's a lot of tanks in front of him. Maybe if IPT, kung maka-flank man sila to maybe reach Kog'Maw when he's not so aware of his positioning, or maybe move around the map and pressure the different parts of the map so that they can split up Empire X. If you can split up this cake, this Kog'Maw cake, into different pieces and only slice out Kog'Maw
You can
alone.
get that chewy center.
Yeah,
like,
the chewy center
yeah,
of the
that
cake. Yeah,
chocolatey
yeah.
center.
The
of the
cherry
cake.
on top. If you can get Kog'Maw isolated as a slice alone from the rest of the cake, then
Yeah.
you'll definitely win. I
That's
guess
true.
that's just a very difficult thing. But IPT Blue has shown yung parang may moments naman sila na they're able to really show good rotations. Gaya ng sinabi namin nila Neep and stuff, he's commended IPT Blue for early game rotations and early game pressure. Yung tanong nga lang, the rotations will become most important towards the late game.
That's
So that's
true.
where we need to see IPT Blue. Will IPT Blue be able to transition yung early game rotations nila into good shot calling and rotations to late game? We'll see.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, so that was, our analysis for the ban and pick phase. So again, we are reminding you na meron pa tayong match and
Oh,
win,
yes.
guys. So we have here skins, Shockblade Z, Pool Party Lulu.
Yeah, so Shockblade Z, Pool Party Lulu, Void Fizz, Project Yasuo, and Snow Day Syndra, all of my dream skins being given away to you guys, and I can't join. But yeah, no joke lang. Pero yeah, these are really, really nice skins, and you guys will be able to win it anytime during this game, because this is Game 3. The usual ritual, gaya na sinabi namin dati, match and win always happens during Game 3. Yung gagawin nyo lang, anytime throughout this game, may lalabas bigla na code. You guys have to rush to your LoL client, go to the store, go to the code section, and then type the entire code that appears on the screen, plus huhulaan nyo din yung missing character. May question mark dun. You have to replace it with any lucky number, lucky letter that you have.
Lucky
And
character.
hopefully, yeah, and hopefully you'll able to be, you'll guess the right character and get, bam, 5 skins for
Right
the
off-
mid lane mains out there.
Right off the bat. And of course, we do have our share and win. 6:50 p.m. yet a while ago. I'm not sure if it's still ongoing, but you can check on the Booster C Facebook page. They are giving away the Pool Party bundle for 5 winners. So, hindi lang match and win, meron din tayong share and win. So,
Yeah.
guys, don't forget to share the post of and follow your instructions there on the site, and get that free Pool Party bundle.
Yes, and all right, of course, before we forget, we also like to thank our sponsor, Booster C, who
Of
we
course.
wouldn't be able to do this without them. Booster C, Booster Focus, Booster Game. You guys can see Booster C at any nearby convenience store like Mini Stop or something like that.
7-Eleven, and of course, other than Booster C Energy Shot, we have Booster C Protect. So,
Yes, their new flavor.
Yeah, hindi lang energy, may protection ka pa.
Oh, di ba? Lahat na.
Lahat
Booster
na.
C, sapat na.
Sapat na para sa akin.
Di ba?
All right, so welcome into the Summoner's Rift, ladies and gentlemen. This is Game 1 in this best of 2 series between Imperium Pro Team Blue and Acclaim Empire X. So for the blue side, we have Imperium Pro Team Blue. In the top lane, it's going to be Yux on that Lulu. In the jungle, Rebenga shall be playing the Spider Queen Elise. In the mid lane, it's going to be the Pirate King. Oh, I should not say that kasi baka may magalit sa akin dito mga Lupi fans. It's going to be Gangplank in that mid lane. In the bottom lane duo, we have Lucian being played by Raze and Shadow with the Braum.
All right, for the red side, it's going to be Acclaim Empire X with Nar Kai in the top lane, with the Nar, Tam in the jungle, with Rek'Sai calculated in the mid lane, with Karma, and for the bot lane, that's going to be Genvi and Cannon with the Kog'Maw and the Alistar.
All right, so it looks like Imperium Pro Team Blue here are just for that Great Wall of China setup with their bodies as tempo wards.
Yeah, they're going to be playing pretty defensive here. Hindi naman kailangang mag-invade or anything. They just want to play it safe. And we're going to see this level 1. So looking at the early game, things are definitely in favor of IPT because they have a lot of nice pressure now from Elise. Napakalakas niyan during the early to mid game. They also have Lucian, who would definitely do more damage in the Kog'Maw during the early game.
That's
so
true.
Empire X has to make sure that they babysit this baby Kog'Maw during the early game so that he can transition and deal a lot of damage in that late game.
Kog'Maw and Baron are from the Void, right? What if si Kogma, pag tumanda na siya na sobrang tagal, magiging Baron siya.
Wow, that would be cool. Pero actually, nightmare yun para sa mga LoL players eh. Kasi isipin mo lang, kapag tumanda si Kog'Maw at naging Baron siya, tapos nag-W siya na may 6 items na siya. Diba? Sino makakapatay nun? Huwag naman, diba?
Yeah. He
Yeah.
comes, yung narinig din akong video, like, yung champions that look like monsters in Summoner's Rift. Yung kay Shyvana, like, she was able to kill the dragon, and then, naka-dragon form siya, and Lee Sin was just going past her saying, hindi niya nakita na Shyvana pala yun, nakala niya dragon din.
May dalawang dragon na pala sa LoL. Okay, bye-bye.
Lee Sin really is the blind monk. So I would definitely say na nakita na yun ng most of our viewers here because it was like going viral for in League of Legends Facebook pages all
Pero
throughout the week.
parang weird nun. Shyvana killing a dragon. Doesn't that mean na pinapatay niya yung sariling kind niya?
That's true, but then ano kasi, Shyvana, I would say she's not a real dragon because wyverns have wings on their arms and dragons have, you know,
4 legs and
wings on their backs.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so kahit masabihin nila na half dragon si Shyvana, I'm going
It's not a
against
true
that.
dragon.
Yeah, she's a wyvern.
Yeah, so I guess the dragons all mean he's like, no, you're not a real dragon.
Kaya pala
So I'll
pinapatay
kill
niya,
you.
no?
Oh, and there's a sun going down.
Oh, piercing light doesn't connect.
Yeah, so like we were saying earlier, Empire X, kailangan talaga na i-babysit si Kog'Maw in this lane. The good part is that Braum isn't exactly a lane bully. Actually, medyo nalulungkot ako eh. Kasi based on our experience from last night, Bard Lucian is a very strong duo bot lane. And sadly, wala masyadong nagbabard dito sa PH. It's an acquired taste. Really, Bard is a really difficult champion to play. But if you're pro like me, then you can probably pull it off. But yeah.
Yeah, but ano kasi din eh, like his ultimate is make or break. If you like Fates Call your teammates,
Oh, bye-bye.
yeah, you're putting them in a position wherein the opponents can just run past
Yung
them.
tipo mag-isa siya, tapos nakita mong parash na yung 5 enemy.
Yeah.
Tapos finitscall mo siya, oh yan, pang setup para sa inyo.
It was at this time that this guy know that he, you know, messed up. I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna say the original version. This is a kid-friendly show.
Yeah, okay. So
Oh,
Thunderlord being
There
brought out.
goes Chalk forcing himself to flash. Oh, wow. He actually wanted to go for a fadeaway barrel explosion, but it was only 1 tick away from dying. So
Yeah, Ignite traded for flash there, so wala nang flash si Chalk. You'll have to be a bit careful if Tam decides to do another gank, which he's actually still there. And he's going to be backing
You know what?
out.
I think if like Tam can consecutively hit his Prey Seekers, he could actually kill Chalk like in the span of like 1 minute.
What? But, sino ba namang loko-loko yung tatayo na ng 1 minute? Come and kill me.
Babato ng Prey Seeker, but it was like 100% accurate all the time. It's a possibility.
Yeah, it's a possibility. It's a really weird thought though. Calculated. Still prime pressure. Of course, kung may baby na Kog'Maw sa side ng Empire X, may baby Gangplank naman sa side ng IPT. We say this because pati si Gangplank kailangan rin ng tulong during the early game. He's very strong late game, but he has a weakness definitely during the early game. And alam naman natin sa mga nakapaglaro against Karma that she's very annoying, especially toward that mid game kasi sobrang lakas na poke niya during this stage of the game.
Yeah, so there's Rebenga actually removing some pressure from Chalk there. And actually, I think that's a very smart idea because Chalk might have a good time last hitting under turret because Karma can just throw her Qs and harass him while he gets that last hit. So Tam there, he wasn't top lane, but doesn't connect onto Yux there. But Kai with the might of the primal genes
actually,
on that Meganar.
Yung ginawa ni Tam dun, parang yung pag nag-miss yung Q ni Lee Sin, yung parang, ay, hello, okay, bye-bye. Balik ulit sa jungle.
Yeah, hindi na siya iikot ulit para sa pang-gank. Gusto rin talaga niyang pakita yung sarili niya. Tapos pag hindi ko mangyari, okay, alis na ako.
Parang si Adele lang, hello.
Yeah. Oh, he connects. Is that stun going, or that root? Yes, it does.
Wow,
He actually hits Rebenga and Shock, and Rebenga will be forced to flash away. He was hoping that he didn't have to do that because it looked like he was just looking to walk away, but sadly, no.
Yeah, and yung mahirap dito kasi Rebenga ganking mid is not going to be very fruitful. Kasi the damage of Chalk at this stage in the game, sobrang baba pa niya. He only has a corrupting potion, which actually does not really help. So, in terms of bursting down this Karma, who still has flash and has a shield.
And has a movement speed.
Yeah, and movement speed. So, it's really difficult to kill this Karma at this stage in the game. If anything, I would probably expect Rebenga to wait.
Oh no, he gets knocked up and calculated with the hot and just gets that last hit, but Tam Actually, he flashed in to get the knockup.
Yeah.
So that's a 1-for-1. And Chuck can actually TP back into his own lane. So he's not going to lose too much CS. But Calculated doesn't have any mana anymore. He'll be forced to flash.
Yeah, so I was thinking Rebenga should probably be focusing on ganking other lanes. Because mid lane doesn't really need help, except of course if you want to aim for a counter gank.
Yeah, or just relieve pressure like what he did a while ago. That's the best scenario
It's
for
actually
him.
definitely a valid gank, but they shouldn't be expecting to get too much from ganking that mid lane. Yung problema lang siguro is that IPT Blue, their bot lane is pushing really hard. And the top lane is actually just a farm fist kasi wala namang mapapatayan dyan eh. Lulu's just gonna keep pissing off Nar with her little pixie dust, and Nar is just gonna keep stunning her away.
Kaya pala nagtatransform si Nar kasi sobrang galit niya sa ano.
I don't want your pixie dust. Go away.
Baka sabi, I want you, tas no, you can't have me.
I will. Alam mo, Asaray, tapos na yung Valentine's eh. Mag-move on na tayo. Move on.
Sinabi na nga din nila, diba, na hindi natatapos ang pagmamahal sa Valentine's Day lang. So, ang pagiging mahugot ko, hindi rin matatapos sa Valentine's Day lang din. Oh, there's the ultimate coming out of Chalk, and the root will actually connect onto him. Doesn't activate the barrels because they took too long to set up. He actually, or rather Calculated, just dashes over, or, you know, speed boosts over.
Squeeze!
I'm doing what Rico's doing.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Well, hindi rin natatapos ang pag-gank ni Rebenga actually sa mid lane. Gaya ng pagmamahal mo, ayaw niya tumigil. And we'll see if anyone decides to get Dragon. This early on in the game, still not much pressure, but Scuttle Crab is actually in favor of IPT. And gaya na sinabi natin, this bot lane would definitely have the advantage if there is a Dragon fight, because Lucian spikes earlier than Kog'Maw at this stage in the game. The problema na siguro, while Lucian's strong during the early game, so is Karma at this stage in the game. So they also have to be a bit careful if they do decide to take Dragon.
Yeah, so there's Kai putting the hyper stacks onto Yux, but Yux here is building for that Rod of Ages. There you go. Oh, nicely timed there. Actually gets the stun onto Yux, but Kai, would he really do that if IPTB, knowing that he uses ultimate already, just goes in for a dragon here? Doesn't look like it, but Rebenga is on that red side of Acclaimed Empire's base.
Yeah, I was actually surprised that Kai actually decided to still ult with that, because you wouldn't really end up... Actually, the only way Nar can probably kill you at this stage in the game with a Phage is if you land your full combo. But he was already... The stun was already taken away from him. So, like, SS pa rin siya.
Yeah, and his, you know, Nar in, or, you know, that jump in was actually polymorphed by Yux.
So we'll see what happens. Time is just hiding in the bush now, and Braum will be providing a bit of vision for them in the lanes and in the blue buff. And Kog'Maw was actually left alone.
So this is this is pretty smart here by Imperium Pro Team Blue, that they know that hindi na nakita si Cannon. They see him with that pink ward, and they pushed up Gen V, so okay lang na mag-ward up dito si Shadow, and he's gonna steal that drop. He wants to. Gen V doesn't even know what hit him!
Well, that's just unfortunate. Actually, wala akong masasabi dun.
Yeah, that's where Shadow, you know, thrives in the shadows.
This is what happens when you leave your baby alone.
Yeah, he gets ganked by other random people.
Yeah. Yun nga talaga eh. When you don't babysit this baby, then he's going to cry because he will be easily taken down by a very strong bot lane
It's not the babysit that you want. Like, if you're on that ally team, you babysit to save your opponent. But, you know, if it's like in terms of your opponent, they babysit because they sit on the baby.
Wow, that took you really long to just say that they were sitting on a baby.
Yeah, I had to set it up, man.
Yeah, that was a nice setup. Yeah, just like my Bard ults. Nice one.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so Rift Herald is actually very heavily set up right now by Empire X. They have a lot of wards right now around that area.
Can they kill it fast enough, though?
Yeah, that's the question. And
Chalk
is not gonna see that pink ward.
Yeah, because Chalk there, if, you know, he sees Empire X getting low from the Rift Herald, he can just throw down his ultimate in a spot where he can actually chip down the HP of Empire X while not hitting the Rift Herald, so that he doesn't actually accidentally help them, and then they could be pincered in on the Baron Pit, wherein, you know, it's where dreams die. Because when you force that Baron Pit, you know people are gonna, you know, just go down. Wow, look at that poke coming out of
so much damage. Coming off of Calculated, and even with that kind of harass though, wala pa rin nagaganap na, or wala pa rin CS gap yung mga lanes natin. Things are very, very even right now. Only a slight gold lead in favor of IPT.
Chok knows how it's done in the mid lane. Even if he is harassed.
Wow, despite the vision around that area, they lack that one ward on the Rift Herald itself. So that's actually very sad. Yeah. So Kai is actually very brave, but I don't think the bravery is gonna go anywhere because the rage bar is not
nice
up.
wild grows there. Oh my god, no shield coming out of Calculated. And Yux, as I would say, it's an outplay with a little bit of too much aggression from Kai.
Yeah, he was a bit too much faith in your teammates, and at the same time, parang nakalimutan ata niya na hindi siya Mega Gnar at that stage. Hopped in without rage. That was a really, really weird move from Kai. And the Rift Herald is going to go over to IPT Blue, and they gave it to Rebenga.
While we were looking into the top lane, bottom lane, Gen V was forced to flash. So lots of opening here for Imperium Pro Team Blue, because if Gen V gets caught by even that cocoon coming out of Rebenga here, I think Rebenga is going to get spotted out because he has Rift Herald and those minions are going to get buffed.
Yeah, that's actually extremely... Yep.
So parang, okay, I'm gonna go in this brush.
I think he only noticed after he was already in the bush. Like, oh guys, talagang never mind. Well, that was calculated. We'll give them the benefit of the doubt to that one.
Okay.
So there's an ult coming down from Chalk to help out, but they didn't dive. However, this may be an opening, but Karma's actually here. So they know that they have the spider senses tingling that dragon might be taken. Yeah, there's the minions.
Kanina they were annoyed kasi nahalata si Rebenga. Now they're saving IPTB because Calculated can't queue over minions.
Yeah, so Chalk was forced to back and he's going to go back to mid lane. That's why Carl is here. But I don't think anyone's going to be starting Dragon just yet. Tam is just setting up the tunnels around the area. And we'll see if they'll be able to spot anyone out.
Yeah, minimal vision here from IPTB, but Garena and IPTB have no vision whatsoever.
Yeah, most vision in the Dragon is on the side of IPT
God,
Blue.
Look at that powder keg.
Yeah, and we're seeing the Trinity Force actually at 12 minutes in already for Chalk.
Yeah, this is 1 minute faster.
Start hurting.
This 1 minute faster than what I expect Trinity Force for a GP to be built.
Yeah, it
40
was
minutes
free to
top
farm. Kasi when we were looking at the mid lane, Carlos, oh wow,
here comes the fight. They go in for the kill. Kai actually comes in, but here comes Shadow, goes in, and wow, there was a knock up there coming out of Yux with the
my gosh.
IPTB, they're gonna get themselves an ace here, but will that happen? As they try to save Yux, but not enough. But that was a 5 for 2.
My gosh, what had happened there? That was a sudden ace at 30 minutes into the game. We were so distracted by Trinity Force from Chalk that we were blinded. Let's take a look at that replay. So there's definitely a dive here. Rebenga forever at bot lane. And
wow,
Tam tries to respond. So much damage onto Gen V. And there's really nothing that they can do here. Kind of tries to peel, but he actually pushes Shadow away instead of Raze. So they're definitely going to go down at this point, and there's just response from every single member at this bot lane. After this moment, they probably already tried to take Dragon at this point.
That was beautiful positioning there from Raze. He knew where his opponents were. He knew that Tam was less of a threat than Kai, so he just like relentless pursuit in the side of Tam, and Tam couldn't do anything because there was like Yux and Shadow peeling for Raze.
Yeah.
And well, Calculated didn't have a teleport to get into that fight because we were looking Chalk, and Yux was actually already how do you say this? Synchronized teleportation in that bottom lane. Like everyone from Imperium Pro Team Blue just came in and wrecked Empire X there. And Empire X were actually going in 1 by 1 and got picked off, well, 1 by 1.
Yeah, that's true. And if we looked at yung bot lane, then actually it's quite sad that despite yung pag-overextended pag-push lagi ng IPT Blue, we haven't seen a single game, or I mean, we haven't seen a single play na nag-TP play si Kai to bot. Every time we see Kai with his teammates, he doesn't have the rage bar up, so he can't land a several-man stun, which is actually very crucial to being able to play Gnar, is having those crucial hop 4-man stuns, 3-man stuns.
Exactly.
And we haven't seen Empire X punish IPT Blue for pushing down the bot lane. They don't take control of the bush. Yun na nga lang, na-spot si Rebenga kanina dahil sa Rift Herald. But other than that, they really can't seem to take control of this bot lane. Although it's quite expected, kasi medyo mahina si Kog'Maw at this stage, I still think that setting up these bot lane plays with Kai, who can manage his rage bar properly, would be pretty important as the game goes on.
Yeah, because yun na nga rin yun eh. This is the win condition here for Empire X. It's for them to delay this game as much as possible.
And keep the baby fed.
Yeah, exactly. While keeping that Kog'Maw fed, or rather, constantly farming in the bottom lane to get his itemizations, and then when you're going for the fights, it's Kai, Tam, Cannon, and Calculated. All of them, they have to be there for the peels because if not, Gen V will be no more.
Yeah, that's true. And we're just gonna wait for the pause. First Dragon went to Empire X, so hindi kinuha na IPT Blue yung Dragon after the bot lane went down, probably because they were kind of low on health and mana, so they decided to back, and that gave Empire X the chance for First Dragon. And again, sa mga hindi nakakaalam, pinalit na din yung Dragon buff. They were able to change the second and fourth buff. Basically, yung nangyari is that they retained yung first, third, and fifth buff, but what they did to the second buff was you have additional burn damage against turrets. So parang siyang red buff in a way.
Yeah, red buff for turrets.
Yeah, and then the fourth buff, what they did basically was you reduce the damage that you take towards turrets.
Yeah, so
Personally, I don't really like that fourth dragon buff kasi by the time you get that fourth dragon, you don't really care about turret damage anymore.
yeah, because you have that tanking potential na eh.
Exactly. But for the second dragon buff, that could actually be really huge because if you take first dragon as early as possible and then take the second one immediately, sobrang biglang magkaka-spike yung siege potential niya to take down
And
turrets.
That's actually pretty good. That's gonna, how do you say this, like, bait teams to actually fight for the first dragon, because before, diba, okay na sa kanila yung, oh, dragon for Rift Herald, and then we get the power from the push from that Rift Herald. Then when it goes off when the buff goes on cooldown, or nawala na yung buff, and then teams actually, the opposing team gets their second dragon buff, and parang, oh, why did we have to give that first dragon?
Yeah, exactly. And yung thing kasi about Rift Herald versus Second Dragon is that Second Dragon isn't temporary. You have that
It's permanent.
throughout the game. So
Yeah.
if the enemy team doesn't use Rift Herald properly and you're able to use your Second Dragon properly, that's a huge disadvantage for focusing Rift
Wow,
Herald.
Kai doesn't even get the chance to get that second hop. He gets cocoon midair. But while that was happening, Empire X are now sieging that mid. But I told you, there is the cannon barrage from Shock stopping their aggression. How can you push when you have no more minions?
Yeah, so it looks like they're actually really focusing that mid lane and no one's gonna respond to the top turret. So
wow.
different turrets at top lane. And wow!
Damage
the damage
on
from
to-
Shock, but he's gonna get chipped down by Carl.
That's true, but he's not in danger because Yux is here with an ultimate and
Whoa.
he's going in against Calculated. And while that is happening in the top lane, it's going to be Raze, Rebenga, and Shadow pushing this. So that's the mid-tier 1 for a top-tier
Yeah.
1 and 2.
That was very slow response actually coming from Empire X. They were forcing you mid lane na medyo halata namang walang mangyayari doon actually. And then they go to top lane but there's actually nothing left.
Yeah,
You see, that's the thing about opportunities. You have to grab them otherwise mawawala na lang siya sa'yo. So you have to go for it immediately, but that's not what Empire X did and they let it go.
Yes. And I think another thing. Yeah, you're exactly right.
Yeah,
Kinulong talaga sila sa-
naramdaman mo ba yung hugot?
Yeah, I kind of felt it, but oh wow, is Empire X gonna give a Rift Herald because they were a bit too they didn't set it up properly.
Oh, no!
Wards!
Oh my gosh!
That damage onto Genvi! Oh my gosh, he almost dies to the Rift Herald, but gladly gets the last hit, and now it's Rebenga in a 3v1. Shadow can't do anything, but that was a little bit too close for comfort there.
I thought Rift Herald was gonna take Empire X side and kill Kog'Maw before Kog'Maw could kill him, but Rift Herald was saying, no, we're both Void buddies, so I won't kill you this time.
That's true.
So now there's gonna be a push up at mid lane, even though actually namatay si Rebenga dun. And I think this will be uncontested. Nanlayo na lahat ng members. They did take Rift Herald, but it's at the cost of another turret again for Empire X. Oh, actually no. Looks like they'll be able to defend it.
Yeah. The wave clear from Calculated was sufficient enough. And Gen V, like you said, he did get Rift Herald, but he hasn't gone into a lane to push because it's now... Wow, look at the damage onto Kai, though. I respect it because Kai's building the Black Cleaver.
Yeah, he actually did not build any kind of early magic resist against this Lulu, so...
He's looking for the shred as much as possible.
Whoop.
Okay, so...
Yeah, so sorry guys, there's just a bit of a technical difficulty there.
We're gonna
You're just
transition.
gonna switch the screen. Yep, there we go.
There you go.
So,
We got
no
this,
problem
guys.
at all.
We
Yeah,
got this.
got this. So red buff being taken now via Rebenga, and the bot lane is actually pushing in favor of IPT Blue. So they're going to be pushing that up a bit, but Chalk will recall. And no objectives to be taken right now, although keep in mind that it's a 3-1 in terms of towers, and IPT Blue is in the lead. Empire X still have to take out top and bot turret. And gonna be taking a while kasi gaya na sinabi ko kanina, hindi talaga makapag-set up na maayos na play itong Empire X. It seems like they've been responding for a lot of the time throughout the game. Not able to set up any kills with Kai or with Calculated.
Yeah, because it's either Kai or Cannon now who can actually go in for the fights. Tam, he's kind of in the danger zone where he actually initiates the fight and no one follows up.
Yeah.
But he can't survive the damage when he goes in. Because Cannon does have that unbreakable will, and then Kai, if he's on that Meganar form, can actually threaten teammates, opponents like, oh sige, gusto nyo ako engage? Itong Nar sa inyo sa wall.
Yeah, actually I was thinking Nar might not have needed to build Black Cleaver first. He could have probably gone for a bit of tankier items first. Kasi the thing about their composition is that there's gonna be a bit of a spike at mid game that you need to match against IPT. But if you're building damage first, and you'll reach that stage where team fights start to happen and you're not tanky enough, medyo walang silbi din yung Nar if he's not able to set up any kind of stun or if he can't peel for Karma or Kog'Maw. So maybe this Black Cleaver was not the most optimal item to get first or that early on. He should have probably invested in a bit more armor or MR.
Or, yeah, Hexdrinker is a good item, I would say, from a Nar, because he benefits really well from that passive. Alright, there you go. Chalk goes down really, really fast. But Tam, oh, that kind of barrage.
Yeah, very close. And Dragon's coming up in 1 minute, and then Baron will be coming up in around 40 seconds. The waves are all pushing in IPT Blue's favor, and there's the culling.
It will be eaten by Cannon there, but will it be enough so that they can get this mid-tier 1? Still survives, because, well, Gen V's wave clear is now pretty good because of that Rage Blade. It will be better when he gets himself a Runan's Hurricane.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, let's actually take a look at the itemization. So, Guinsoo is taken actually way earlier on. Luden's being taken by Karma, which is understandable, although she may slightly lack in mana regen for taking Luden's first. Then Trinity Force, and I think that's going to be a Yomu's next for Chalk. And then the Rod of Ages, already done for Yux, getting the Sheen for... What could this Sheen build into?
I think it's Essence Reaver for Chalk.
For Chalk, yeah, probably. Yeah, you're right. Might be. But we'll see, because actually, BF Sword is pretty flexible right now. So
that's true. Even
if Chalk changes his mind...
Even Warhammer.
Yeah, so he can actually go for any item that he wants with that. We'll see. Dragon is actually being set up right now, and the Vision is in favor of IPT. It's going to be a bit dark for Empire X as they try to get this, but IPT is also pressuring mid lane.
It looked like it could have been... Oh, wow, Raze almost will get out. He gets spotted.
Oh my gosh!
God, the damage is just too real. Cannon flashes in with the knockup on the Shadow. Shadow will answer with his own flash there, but top lane and bottom lane being simultaneously pushed. Kai in the top lane and Chalk in the bottom.
Yeah, just like that. Just because medyo in-underestimate mo yung potential burst ni Karma, you get smacked in the face with a freaking flower that reduces your health to like 10 HP.
How does that even happen? How can a flower deal that much damage?
Yeah.
Unless that flower is like poisonous.
Yeah,
you know?
then Dragon is giving up. And remember, this is second Dragon on a team with Kog'Maw in it. And there should be a team fight here.
There's the combo knockup by Shadow. Or sorry, onto Shadow, but he does put out a very questionable Glacial Fissure.
Yeah, it's actually two flashes burned.
Yeah.
Karma and Kog'Maw don't have that right now. So if IPT Blue decides to fight and they catch Kog'Maw off guard, he won't have any flash. Oh my gosh, the burst from Chalk is insane. Yeah, Popeye is happy today.
Yes, he is. Actually, yeah, he is on a Popeye skin.
The Sailor Popeye.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Baron is also up, but I don't think that anyone will decide to take it. Like I was saying, second Dragon buff already to Empire X, and that's going to be the buff that gives you the burn, something like a red buff against turrets. So if Empire X actually, if they're able to set up vision around bot lane or top lane, which still, may outer turret pa rin yun. If they can set up vision around these turrets, prevent flanks, and then move as a unit, an entire group, and take down the turrets, that shouldn't take too long. Kasi you've got nice peel from Alistar and from Rek'Sai, and then you have the speed boost from Karma to keep Kog'Maw safe. You can just press W and watch the turret go down.
And you really can't rely on the culling from Raze to clear the waves, wherein Gen V can just soak all of that, you know, culling damage.
Oh, you mean Cannon?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Cannon pala.
Yeah. So
my bad.
We'll see if Empire X actually decides to do anything like setting up for a turret. But right now they're just trying to push the waves forward kasi actually medyo malakas din talaga yung wave tier ng IPT at this stage. Lucian, Lulu, and Gangplank all have nice wave clear. So medyo mahirapan yung Empire X to push forward, especially since Nar, compared to Lulu, doesn't have as great wave clear.
That's true. So IPTB here are looking for that pick-off. It can be possible because Cannon Barrage can slow down opponents from anywhere in the map, and then this allows Rebecca for an easier time to access his Cocoon ability. And follow up na lang bigla, and then it becomes a 4v5. We'll have to see if Imperial Protein Blue does this to great effect, or if they'll just use that Cannon Barrage for the team fights. If they go for the team fights, though, I think they can still win this because Gen V isn't still on that, oh, I am Kog'Maw, I will win.
And just like you said, they're looking for the picks here.
But too late.
Yeah. You see, this is the problem. Gaya na sinabi ko kanina during the pick and ban phase, without any form of extremely reliable engage, mahirap pa talaga kayo to make picks unless you set vision deep in the enemy jungle and then catch someone off guard with a cocoon. But other than that, when it comes to straight up chasing someone, well, since Zac isn't on this team either, or something like Sejuani or Nautilus, then mahirap pa talaga kayo to lock down certain champions. And we're seeing IPT having a bit of a hard time with that.
There you go. There's the gank on to Yux, but here comes the teleport coming out of Shock. Will Yux stay alive for as long as possible? He is doing that, so oh my god, he goes down for after a couple of seconds there, but Shock is angry. He's going in for the Popeye, but he will be forced to flash
prey.
over.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
And it's wide. And oh, it's wide again.
All right, so calculated there gives the 2 for 2, but that was that Prey Seeker wasn't even close. I think it was like thinking, okay, he's gonna feint left and
it's
then
what
go
you
back
call
right.
a failed prediction. Yeah, the probability that he was gonna walk there wasn't that high though. So they did miss those kill shots, and it cost them a 2 for 2. Now the turrets are still pushing in favor of IPT, although bot lane is pushing in favor of Tam. I don't know if he'll be able to take down that turret in time.
He is building damage Rek'Sai here.
Oh, yeah. Actually, yeah, that's
So
Warrior.
It looks like Acclaim Empire X, aside from Cannon, all of the other bruisers here...
That's actually true. It's actually really weird that we did not notice that.
Yeah. So it just means that they're relying on Calculated for the shields for extra survivability.
Yeah, but that's actually I would say that's quite questionable, because the idea with taking so many tanks beside the Kog'Maw is that you're supposed to be tanks beside the Kog'Maw.
Exactly.
You guys are supposed to move as a unit and rely on maybe Carl and Gen V and occasionally Kai to deal damage, but for Tam and Kai both to be building damage, they're really gonna lack tankiness at this stage of the game. We're at 25 minutes in, and the only one who's sort of tanky, well, actually, the 3 tanks right now are only sort of tanky, but by this stage, you would expect them to be tanky enough. And I don't think they are.
Yeah, because we were talking about a while ago na mahihirapan na Imperial Protein Blue to get the catch-up. Now, if they can, realize what we're realizing right now na Acclaim Empire X are easy to catch up. Kahit sino man pwede natin patayin na mabilisan. Okay na to. Kahit man sino, kahit man si Cannon, kahit man si Tam, sapat na.
Yeah, exactly. And I guess what we were saying earlier is still right now. Acclaim Empire X really have to delay the game and not try to take too many 5v5 fights here, kasi they're really lacking in items. The tanks aren't tanky enough to protect Kog'Maw that much at this stage in the game, so they really have to delay as long as possible until Kog'Maw and his tanks can be tanky enough and painful enough to face a 5v5. But at this stage, they have to play it smart and keep the game alive long enough.
Kasi ang tinignan dito is that Acclaim Empire X were supposed to slow down the pace of the game for Kog'Maw, not for their entire team.
Yeah, that's true. And now they will be having a bit of a hard time. Double Black Cleaver on the side of Empire X.
You know what? I think they just wanted to go for that guillotine.
Okay, galit kung galit.
Exactly.
Yeah. Man, Darius would be happy to see all these axes in this game.
True that.
Okay, there's so much vision invading the side of Empire X right now. And Dragon is actually live. This would have been the 3rd Dragon for Empire X, but I don't think they can take it. The top lane, there's a wave building up right now. So IPT may have to recall in just a bit.
That's true, though they have empowered recall here. So they don't have to recall that early as they try to siege this bot tier 2. Though it is going down pretty fast. Tam there gets slowed, and look what, as I said, he gets immediately insta-kill. 3-man knockup coming out of Cannon. but that's not enough as he goes down following his fallen jungler, and now it's going to be Lotus Karma there. Actually, nicely timed, nicely placed Q to make Raze a little bit honest. Oh my god, that Empower Q almost kills Shadow, but that's a 3-for-0 in favor of Imperium Pro Team Blue, and this wave in the top lane will get embraced by somebody. Please, somebody get it.
Yeah, actually, even if Canon was able to set up a nice flash Q headbutt,
Nobody followed.
sobrang useless niya. There was no one to follow up against that, and he could have saved it for what was possibly this fight right here at Inhibitor, or maybe the Dragon. Just because you can make a play right now doesn't mean you should. You should save your abilities for the time when you will really need them. And sadly, Canon got too excited. He felt like Mad Life. He had to do it, but it wasn't the right time.
Yeah, because I think he just wanted to follow up kay Tam, and he might have quote-unquote caught off some of the members of IPTB, but IPTB were ready, and nobody from AEX were able to follow because they were getting zoned out.
Yeah, well,
Really
anyway,
hard.
this Dragon might still actually be taken by Empire X because Yux had to go to top without teleport, but he's actually rushing
He's pretty
right
fast. He has
now, and
Whimsy.
the damage is actually very slow. Kog'Maw is very far right now, and this is actually very dangerous for Empire X. They're getting sandwiched inside the pit.
Yeah, Calculated is actually going in
Oh, we got it.
to zone it out. So, alright, that was pretty good there from Empire X. Hindi nakapunta dun si Raze in time. I think if Raze was there, Imperium Pro Team Blue would say, tara, rock na ito.
Yeah, and now we're gonna see a bit tankier. This Kai, I think he's actually going for, what is that, Sunfire Cape? Or for the Dead Man's Plate. We'll see what he decides to go for. And this bot lane is actually pushing inhib advantage for IPT Blue. The good news is Empire X has 3 dragons, so they can actually, if they do reach late game, and they get 5 dragons,
This
then
Kog'Maw's gonna
IPT Blue is gonna melt.
Yeah,
But the
that's
question
true.
is, will IPT Blue let the game last that long? Ideally, they
will-
don't want to. Or if they do, they should be able... They should contest yung 5th Dragon talaga. They
Exactly.
have to be able to set up ahead of Empire X because I think that's one of the most important parts of their team. Because they don't have the better 5v5 comp. They lack... I mean, like I said before, see, Elise is not that great in team fights. So with the setting up mechanic that goes on for Gangplank, they have to be able to set up first around the Dragon Pit or around Baron Pit so that they can have the advantage. Otherwise, kung sabay sila mag-clash, it'll be very hard to deal with Empire X.
There we go. Tam gets slowed yet again. He gets the stun onto him, and he's eating so much damage
Oh
from that
my
call.
gosh.
And wow, all of the members of Empire X were just eating away from the cannon barrage of Shock. Kai here, he goes in 1v1 against Raze, but you can't go against Lucian. He is just too fancy-footed. Goes down, and that is a 4-for-0 in favor of Imperium Pro Team
Yeah,
Blue.
we saw Chalk pop Kog'Maw like a Voidling pimple. He just put the barrel on him and bam! I don't think Gen V even noticed he was dead. He was probably still like auto-clicking like, oh wait, where am I?
Yeah, I think it goes back to like if you pop a pimple, you're still checking like may laman pa ba yun?
Okay, dude, stop.
Yeah,
Do
alright,
it way
that's-
too visual.
that's-
Way
that's-
too. Oh!
Okay, way too visual, but it is the visual, guys, that you were waiting for. Alright, we set that up perfectly.
Yeah. Guess the missing code. DGUI9F5VKQJQ !VU0 again. All you guys have to do, rush to the LoL client right now and wait. Okay, they're gonna die. Yeah, rush to the LoL client right now. That's gonna be going to the code section. You have to type in this whole code, guess the question mark, and then you'll have the insanely nice bundle for mid laners, which consists
Yes.
of Shockblade Z, Boom Party Lulu, Void Fizz, Project Yasuo, and Snow Day Syndra.
So that concludes this Game 1 in this Best of 2 series between Empire X and Imperium Pro Team Blue. So Empire X there, think they're gonna be feeling that one game because they were really hoping for the 2-0.
Yeah, and actually, this is huge morale boost for IPT Blue. Kasi gaya na sinabi namin, right now in the standings, they were only 9 points. Right now, they're at 10, which means they're tied with Mineski possibly for 4th place. Now, if they win the next game, 2-0, ibig sabihin nun, they will be at 12 points, which means they're 2nd place, right beside Celestial. So it's a choice now. Will they allow themselves to fall down to 4th place, tie with Mineski, or will they just go for another dominating game and then take 2nd place?
I don't think they'll try to give Empire X at one game because, yeah, you do get that chance to get to the playoffs, but then it's much more easier because sabihin na natin to, when you're going into a fight, like a tournament, you don't allow yourself, gusto ko kalabanin to kasi malakas to. Gusto mo silang kalabanin kahit malakas sila because it's the match. You're not allowing yourself to get that 1-1 para makipag-duelo ka na lang.
Exactly.
Kasi Minasi can topple off if
yes,
they're
they
Pro Team
can.
Blue.
There's really, things are really shaky right now, and we can't say black and white who's gonna win really along these games. And well, officially Empires can no longer make it to the playoffs, but hopefully we still see a good game for them against Imperium Pro Team Blue.
Alright, so that concludes Game 1 in this Best of 2 series. Ladies and gentlemen, meron pa tayong Game 2 right after we take a short break. Again, this is the Pro Game Series 2016 Spring Split, brought to you by the official energy shot of the Pro Game Series. That is, of course, Energy Booster C, Energy Shot. Genius, boost your focus, boost your game. Now with the green one, Protect naman.
Yes.
So, of course, GS Aster here tonight. And alongside here with me is
GS Amplifier.
And we'll be right back.
She looks nice, I sweat right. Old splash was horrible, haunted me at night. I'm surprised, how long this shit last? Should be your carry, get on her back. It's P-O-P-P-Y, hero ultimate, Garena, maybe Jarvina.